like it's about that time again. Hi, it's Shawn Stevens from 1027 Coyote Country. Welcome to my backyard once again tonight for the Coyote Kids Book Club. And looking forward to tonight's story because it's a fun one that's going to use your imagination. And it's kind of interesting, this whole social isolation and distancing is bringing families together, I think. At least that's what we're hoping for. I have to say that over the last couple of weeks, I've heard more from my kids than I have in months. My daughter this morning, who is a nurse, sent me a video of her all decked out in her gear with her face shield and her mask, reading a story. And she said, "This is how we do it where I work." And it was just the cutest thing. And Gabriel, thanks for that. I appreciate it. It made me smile. I heard from my other daughter, Shauna. Her kids did some coloring in the Coyote Kids coloring, the Bud coloring contest. I'll show you what they did a little bit earlier. And Lacey and PJ and their kids, they also did some coloring. So this has been really great for us as a family, and I hope it's been great for you as well. If you've missed any of our story times, I want you to go to our website. That's 1027coyotecountry.com, and you can go through each and every one. We've done one each night since we've been quarantined, and so there's quite a bit. And so if you're looking for something to keep the kids occupied, probably for a good, I don't know, hour or so, just have them go from story to story. Again, that's at 1027coyotecountry.com. Tonight, we're going to be reading this one. It's called Zack's Alligator, and it's by Shirley Moselle. And the interesting thing about this is that my son's name is Zack, and to my knowledge, he never had an alligator like this. You'll see what I mean coming up here in just a little bit. We do have comments coming in. If you want to chime in and say hi, we'd love to hear from you to find out what you're up to. I want to say hey to Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Ransom's watching. And Sherry. Hey, Sherry. How are you doing? Looks like my kids are on, Lacey and Gabriel, and we just hope that you enjoy what we're doing here. So, let's do this. Zack's Alligator. It's by Shirley Moselle. There's some fun pictures, and I'm going to do my best to get them over to you so you can see them. Pictures by James Watts. And let us begin. Here we go. A big box came in the mail for Zack. See that big old box right there? It was from Zack's Uncle Jim in Florida. Zack shook the box, and he thought, what could be in it? He untied the bow, he ripped off the paper. There was another box inside. Zack lifted the lid. Let me not jump ahead. Inside was an alligator keychain with a note from Uncle Jim. It said, "Dear Zack, here's a present for you. Have fun. Love, your Uncle Jim. P.S. Water Bridget." Zack held up the keychain. "This must be Bridget," he said. Zack put Bridget in the sink. Then he turned on the faucet. Bridget began to move. Her head turned, her tail curled. Bridget grew bigger and bigger. Soon she filled the sink. Look at that. So what's he do? Zack moved Bridget to the tub and turned on the shower. Bridget stretched out and sighed. "That feels so good," she said. Zack watched. Bridget grew larger and larger. She grew out of the tub and over the side. Look at that. It's crazy. Bridget moaned and groaned and whipped her tail. She splashed water everywhere. "What's going on in there?" called Zack's mother. "I'm watering the alligator," said Zack. "Alligator? What alligator?" "The one Uncle Jim sent," Zack said. He heard his mother laugh. "I see," she said. "Well, clean up when you're done." "I will," said Zack. Look at the alligator in the shower, washing up, practicing CDC guidelines. All right, here we go. Bridget crawled out of the tub and onto the floor. I'm hungry, she said. Do you have any fish? I don't know, said Zack. Let's go see. Bridget followed Zack down the stairs and into the kitchen. Zack opened the refrigerator door. No fish? Said Bridget. No, said Zack, no fish. But here's some meatloaf. I can fix you a meatloaf special. What's that? Asked Bridget. A surprise, said Zack. I love surprises, said Bridget. Bridget went into the living room and stretched out on the sofa. The sofa shook. Bridget looked at the TV. What a funny-looking box, she said. Then she hollered to Zack, hurry up with the food. I'm coming, said Zack. He was making his meatloaf special. Meatloaf, peanut butter, mustard, banana, and a couple of pickles. Zack, what are you doing? Asked his mother. I'm fixing some meatloaf for Bridget. Who's Bridget? The alligator, said Zack. Oh, of course, said Mother. Well, save some for dinner. I will, said Zack. Look at that big old pile of food on that plate. Zack's meatloaf special right there. Bridget ate every bite of Zack's meatloaf special. Delicious, she said. I've never eaten anything like that before. Back home in the Glades, I eat mostly fish and snakes and slugs. Look at that. She looks like she's enjoying it, doesn't she? Suddenly, Bridget jumped up from the sofa. Time for a walk, she said. Bridget wobbled to the door. Zack followed. Bridget's long tail knocked over a chair and some books off of a table. That's a big alligator. Zack picked up the chair and the books. We're going out, Mom, he called. We? She asked. Oh, yes, you and Bridget. I forgot. Well, don't be too long. Dad'll be home soon. Outside, Bridget was wrestling with the garden hose. I will get you, she growled. She gave the hose a big bite. Water squirted everywhere. Look at that. Wrestling with the hose. Zack ran to turn off the water. That snake will not bother you ever again, said Bridget. Zack sighed and shook his head. Bridget took off down the sidewalk, and Zack followed. That's one big alligator right there. Just then, the mailman pulled up in his truck. What is that? Cried Bridget. Before Zack could answer, Bridget attacked. She bit the tire of the truck. Air hissed out. Sss. Dogs are bad enough, shouted the mailman, but I cannot handle this. No, sir, not alligators. The mailman jumped into his truck and drove away with a flat tire. Clump, clump, clump. Bridget shook her head. I'm glad we don't have those in the Glades, she said. Zack tried to say something, but Bridget was off again. You're waddling down the sidewalk. They came to the park. Bridget wanted to swing. After that, she climbed the monkey bars. Then she jumped on the seesaw. Zack had never seen anyone seesaw by herself. Next, Bridget ran to the merry-go-round. Round and round she went. Bridget began to sing. Oh, I am a gator from the Glades, and I can do anything, and I mean anything. What? Bridget got so dizzy, she fell off the merry-go-round. Zack helped Bridget up. Just then, his best friend Turk rode up on his bicycle. Hey, Zack, said Turk. Where'd you get that alligator? From my Uncle Jim, said Zack. Some uncle, Turk said. Suddenly, Bridget shouted, What's that fuzzy wuzzy? Uh-oh. The woman took one look at Bridget and picked up her dog. Come on, Poopsie, she said. Let Mama take you home. Bridget did a cartwheel. Who would want that fuzzy wuzzy anyway, she said. I'm thirsty, not hungry. Bridget did a quick 1-2 and hop-skip to the fountain. She drank big gulps of water. Zack and Turk watched. Will you bring Bridget to school? Asked Turk. I don't know, said Zack. A policeman came over. You need a leash for that alligator, he said. There's a law, you know. Yes, sir, said Zack. Hey, police officer right there watching over. The policeman frowned. Well, keep him under control. Him? Cried Bridget. Well, I beg his pardon. How rude. Hasn't he ever seen a girl gator before? You should bring her to school, said Turk. Maybe, said Zack. Zack and Turk rode Bridget around the park. Look at that, they're riding on Bridget's back. Suddenly, Bridget started to shrink. I need more water, she said. Zack and Turk helped her to the fountain. Bridget slurped the cool water. This place is too dry, she said. In the glades, there's plenty of water, and moss and tall grass. What are the glades? Asked Turk. The Everglades, said Zack. They're in Florida, where my Uncle Jim lives. Do you think he could send me an alligator? Asked Turk. I don't know, said Zack. I'll ask him. That would be great, said Turk. We have to go now, said Zack. Don't forget to bring Bridget to school, yelled Turk. Oh, please, Bridget said to Zack. I want to see what school is like. We'll see, said Zack. On the way home, Bridget was shrinking more and more. She looked up at Zack with big shiny alligator eyes. Will you water me again? She asked. I'll water you every day, said Zack. Good, said Bridget. Bridget was getting smaller and smaller. She bobbed her head up and down and began singing, I am a gator from the glades, and I like to have fun every day. Oh, yeah. See? When they got home, Bridget was keychain size. Zack put her safely in his pocket. Hello, said Zack's father. Your mother said you were out with the alligator. May I see it? Yes, sir, said Zack. Zack pulled out the keychain with a small alligator hanging from it. It's very nice, said his father. Now go wash up for dinner. Zack went upstairs to his room. He could hear his mother tell his father they would have chicken for dinner instead of meatloaf. Are you all right? Whispered Zack. See, he's talking to Bridget there. Are you all right? Never better, Bridget said. She yawned. Don't forget to water me tomorrow. I won't, said Zack. Zack put Bridget back in his pocket. Zack, called Mother, dinner's ready. I'm coming, Zack called back. Zack felt Bridget move in his pocket. He patted his pocket and smiled as he walked down the steps. That's it. You think he took her to school? I bet he did. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. Zack's alligator is something that we at the Coyote are enjoying doing for you. Hopefully you're finding some joy in that, gathering the family together. What are you doing? You doing anything fun during the quarantine time? If you'd like, you can give us a comment. Would love to see what you're doing. And looks like Karen. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Thanks. Thank you for doing it. You're entirely welcome. Hey, Tish. Cody. Luna. Who else? Luna and Cody in Las Vegas. Hey there. What do we got here? Sandy, thank you. We appreciate it. Parents, if you haven't done it yet, I want you to go to our website. That's at 1027coyotecountry.com. You have to click on where it says contests over on the left side, the navigation bar. And once you do that, it opens up a page where you'll see the Coyote coloring contest. It's Bud, our new mascot. And I want you to print it off and have the kids color it, and then you can re-upload it to the same spot on the website. And what we do is we take those, we download them, and first of all, here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like right here. You see Bud? There he is. He's got all kinds of cool things going on. There's a bird and butterflies, and he's standing, looks like on a hill in a field. And we want you to get crazy and do some crazy coloring on that, like these. And what we do is we show you, and we also hang these on our studio wall. This is from Nixon. Nixon's 4 years old, and you can see Nixon's done a little coloring on Bud and the Coyote logo there. Nixon, thank you. This is from Nora. Nora is 3 years old. There you go, Nora. And let's go one more down. This is from Emma. Emma did this. Very pretty. Thank you, Emma. And the last one we have to show you tonight is from Hudson. There you go. Now, kids, if you can do this, and we'd love you to do it, it gives you something to do. We want you to, again, download it off the website and then re-upload it. And if you share it on your socials, I want you to make sure that you use the hashtag Color in Coyote Country LV. That's Color in Coyote Country LV. Now, we do this every night, as we mentioned, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live. Ransom Garcia is going to be reading tomorrow night. He always does crazy things, like on Easter Sunday, he cracked eggs on his head. That didn't go so well, but it looked fun. And he'll be reading tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Want you to stay safe. Follow the CDC guidelines. By now, you know what that means. Wash your hands really, really good and often. And keep your social distance. That means stay away from people. Unless it's mom or dad or brother or sister, you need to give yourself at least 6 feet between people. We want you to do this for us. Basically, if you stay apart now, we can get together sooner than later. So we want you to do that, all right? We are all in this together, folks. So be kind, love each other, and have a fantastic night. And thanks once again for joining us here from 1027 Coyote Country.